What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Margot Alvarez. Today we're going to be going over a superset for our lower body that's going to help strengthen our quads, hamstrings, hips, and glutes. Before we get started, I just want to mention the July giveaway we have going on. It is until the end of July. If you order any shoe or boot via GoRuck, the link is below, and you use code GRMargot, that will give you 10% off, but also enter you into the giveaway. The giveaway will have two prizes, or two winners, also two prizes. It will be a tub of Phormula-1 Protein, as well as a GoRuck bag. So once you order, send me email or message and I can contact you and we can get that squared away and you'll be entered in. Also, another way to enter is if you order via my first form link, also linked below. And if you send me your order number and email, that will get you entered in there so I can make sure I have you guys' communication. So any questions, let me know. Let's get started. For today's superset, you're gonna be using a bench or box, just something that's gonna be stable, and we're gonna be focusing on that lower body. The first exercise is going to be a modification or variation of a pistol squat. So a pistol squat is essentially a single leg squat. We're not gonna be going the full range of motion. That does require a good amount of mobility and also strength to get down and also get up. So this is a variation that I love. I actually did it the other day. Since I'm working through a back issue and I'm getting better slowly, this is a variation that I use and I actually was able to feel really well in my glutes. So what you're gonna do is you have the bench behind you. You're gonna step about 1 to 1.5, maybe 2 feet away, right? So you can put your calf against the leg or against the side of the bench. Then the other foot's in there. That is kind of a guide to start with. If that's too far, then just pull yourself back half a foot. The more you feel comfortable, the more you'll feel being able to move through this entire flow or this entire superset. So again, don't be afraid to adjust the foot. This is a guide. I'm gonna sit down to the bench or box nice and slow, and as I do that, my opposite leg is extended off the floor, so it's not touching the floor. This will also strengthen your hip flexors because you have that leg engaged. I'm gonna sit down and then I'm going to lean forward and stand up. Obviously, balance is also a component here. So I am going to perform 10 repetitions on my one leg, then I'll switch. I'll perform 10 repetitions on my other leg. And now notice, again, balance is off a little bit. As I stand up, I have almost a 90-degree angle here, so as I'm standing up, I'm having to almost sit forward. Now the pistol squat, obviously your body will be rounding a little bit more in the bottom of that squat, but again, this is a variation. This is gonna help strengthen your hip flexors as well as the glute. So your hip flexor on the opposite side, so say I'm starting with my right leg down, my hip flexor is gonna be working on both sides, but this is an isometric hold on the left side, so I'm gonna be working to stabilize here. On the other side, I'm actively working that negative, the eccentric, and the concentric movements to perform that repetition. So 10, then I switch, 10. To scale this, if you feel like this is difficult, one option is to just place that foot down. So as you sit down, heel touches, and then as I come up, I can keep it in touch or keep in contact in the last inch or two, I can lift the leg. That's a variation to regress the movement. 10 and 10. Then I'm gonna flip to the side of the bench or box. I'm gonna put my one leg on top, left leg on top, foot parallel to the edge. Then I'm gonna stand up, extending through the leg, hold for a second, and then come back down. Now I'm trying to make sure I'm trying to go straight up versus leaning too far forward or having to press off this front leg. I'll extend up through my midfoot, hold for a second, and then come back down. Then I'll switch, do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So again, unilateral strength, working on that single leg development is so important, right? These are not the only movements you can do. This is a superset that I did the other day, and I personally loved it. Again, I'm working through a back issue, and anything with load right now is a little iffy. So this is a great way to modify that range of motion, still work the muscles, and help strengthen your hips, your hamstrings, your glutes, and as well as your core. Now again, any modifications to this height, if you want a little more of a challenge, you can raise it up a little higher. If you need less of a challenge or you need it to be a little bit less, you can decrease the distance. If you don't have an adjustable bench or box, then you can get maybe a 45 plate and stack 2 of those. They're about 4 inches thick, depending on the bar or depending on the plate you're using. The Rogue plates, the 45 ones, typically the bumper ones are typically 4 inches. So if you have 2 of those, that's 8 inches. Again, that's a way to regress it. If you have a box that adjusts, you can flip it up. But again, if not, stick with this. Now, if you want to progress this even further, say you've done this, you're like, man, I have great strength, but I want to improve more unilateral strength or balance, then you could add a set of dumbbells in, a dumbbell, or even a kettlebell. And in terms of holding that load, I would hold it in front of you. I'm holding 2 dumbbells like so versus down here because I'll hit the bench. Keep them up here so as I squat down, I touch, and then I stand. If I'm holding them in front, there's a dumbbell and kettlebell in front of you. And then the same thing on the lateral side. I could either hold them here or here as I perform that lateral step up. So this is a lateral step up where you're just stepping to the side. So I hope you guys enjoyed the superset. If you found it beneficial, I would love your support by sharing this with a friend or family or coworker, anyone that would find it beneficial. Again, leave a comment below if you do get after this and what you think. Again, 10 repetitions on each side. For each exercise, you can again regress it to lower repetitions, maybe 6 or 8 reps, or you can advance it to 12 to 15 reps if you want. Go a little lighter on that if you're looking for a little bit more endurance of the muscles. This is great to add into your training as accessory work or as a lift. Again, thank you guys so much for the support. Appreciate it. Thank you again, and I will see you soon.